Life is the period between one breath and the next. A person who only half breathes only half lives. He who breathes correctly acquires control of the whole being. This is from a book, Hatha Yoga Pradipika. Hatha Yoga Pradipika is an ancient text of yoga. It tells us clearly that yogis pay much attention on breathing. Pranayama is the practice that helps us to breathe correctly. By breathing correctly, we'll be able to utilize the energy we are taking in through our nose and we can fully live. Respiratory system is the only system in the body that involves semi-voluntary muscles. That's why you can hold the breath for a while, but you can't hold your breath forever. You can only control it to some extent. Being semi-voluntary muscles, they act like a gateway for us to use the controlling of breaths to gain more control over our body. Many real yogis in India, from ancient time until now, can control the function of their internal organs, which are involuntary muscles, and that is the result of the practicing of advanced technique of pranayama. But we are not going that deep. We need to be careful. Our respiratory system is linked very closely to our nervous system and our brains, which are very vulnerable systems. In this initial stage, the practice will aim at strengthening the respiratory system, which will in turn have a positive effect on the whole body. In yogic term, we use the word purification. It is to purify the system for it to be ready for a higher practice such as meditation. We cannot reach to a higher practice yet if our physical body is not ready. By purifying body, we'll have our optimum health back. Our body system is fresh and clean like we have a new body. You can think of an old computer with a lot of data, programs, unusable but forgotten files which have been accumulated in the computer. The computer gets slower and slower. There's no main issue about the computer. There's no virus. All things function quite okay. But it is old and slow. The computer is brought to the service center and the technician tells the owner that the computer needs to be restored. The customer agrees. After the process, the technician puts back important, usable, up-to-date files and programs into the computer. When the owner gets the computer back, she finds it works very well and very fast like a new computer. That computer is like our body, and our breathing is like the technician. The great technician who can purify this body and mind without having to remove anything out of this body like that old computer. The necessary removal process will take place along the way. You'll find your body slowly changes, or you'll naturally give up some habits which no longer suit you. Eventually, you'll find yourself more healthy. The mind is clearer, and the overall energy is lighter and brighter, and we are ready to evolve. And later on, if we are consistent with our practice, we can make a progress into a more advanced practice because our body is ready, and that means we will bring the practice to the higher level and focus more into our energy body. Before we continue, let's get to know our breath a bit more. Yogis know that body is inside out. Their focus is on the body, not only the physical body, but energy body as well. Breathing is the bridge linking between the physical body and energy body. Let's observe this bridge a little bit more. On the bottom right, you'll see a small box with question in it. Do you immediately exhale after finishing inhaling? Or the other way around, what about between exhaling and inhaling? Is there a small pause? We'll take a bit time here to observe. Just breathe. Just naturally breathe. Some may find that there is a pause between inhalation and exhalation and inhalation. You may find that the deeper you breathe, the more tendency you have that pause, and the deeper the breath, the longer the pause. But if you cannot find it, it is okay. It is absolutely okay. It will come with time and you will feel natural. And later on, if you observe carefully, you will find yourself be more peaceful during the pause. It is very brief, so brief that sometimes we cannot grasp it. But it is like that. As in this quote, life is the period between one breath and the next. It's in that pause that life flourishes, grows, and full of energy. Now, let's take 2 minutes to breathe and observe the pause between each inhalation and exhalation. Observe without trying to hold the breath. Start from breathing very normally, not so long inhalation and not so long exhalation, but we are going to gradually making the breath deeper, longer, and observe those pauses in between. Observe which pause is naturally longer, after inhaling or after exhaling. There's no right or wrong. This is your own unique body. Feel more and more energy being stored after each inhalation. And feel the body become soft and light after each exhalation. You'll hear the bell for starting and again when finishing.